All right, I'm shooting a quick video for my family and whatnot. Show you kind of some updates here at Shadynook. It is I don't even know what day today is. I think about anyway, we're in the middle of September 2023. So this window here I replaced. There was an old aluminum window there, it didn't seal. It actually, snow would get in on the bottom. Kristen helped me tear out all this sheetrock, built a new frame with a big, header on it and everything, built it, properly. Moved the window over just a little bit. The window's a little bigger, it's longer, so I went lower with it. Kept the top about the same height roughly as the door, which is kind of what you shoot for, I guess. Anyway, and then I drywalled all the way around it. I did bullnose. I'm not very good at this, so yeah, it's all right. I just finished up putting it on here, and you can see there's some pretty rough stuff, and I don't really know what I'm doing with the corners real well, and I'm also noticing I got some bubbling going on here. I don't know what that's about. I got a little spot up there, spot right there, where the paper's bubbling. So anyway, doing something wrong. But so there was this, show you real quick over here. This paneling, that was on that wall, starting at the edge where the refrigerator sits. Right there, basically ran down here. Took all that out, fixed a bunch of holes in the sheetrock, and then there was a cabinet that I had built here, took that all out. Eventually this will get a dishwasher in here, most likely, but for now it's just going to stay open. It's just going to be an open spot basically next to the stove. So this will all get painted. I'll put a vent fan back up in here. You can see it vents out the side there. This red stuff, of course, is still going to stay for now. I don't have time to tear into this entire kitchen. So all this goofy stuff is going to stay. Eventually, that'll all get replaced too. Also, the flooring. So there were these square tiles in here. And then, of course, I had to take some of them out of here. So I put a different color in here between the last renters. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to take these appliances out of here. Finish stripping all this down. So this right here, this plywood, it's a half-inch, overlay. It was pretty warped at the front, so I pulled it all up. There was some water damage, some mold, so I let everything dry real well, and then I polyurethaned over top of that. This is the new plywood. I got to trim this sheet a little bit yet and cut this one yet. I'll get that overlaid. We're planning on doing a paper bag floor. Where's the paper? So we have two different options here, and actually you guys can leave comments if you have a preference. Each of these rolls about 15 bucks, give or take, I think. Don't remember the brown one for sure, but anyway. There's these two colors. I hope this shows up well. Turn this on here. Oh, that's nice. I got a light bulb going out. Okay, there we go. So this one's kind of reddish, this one's kind of brownish, tan, whatever. That's what the brown looks like on the floor. I kind of want to go with this stuff in the kitchen, but I don't know. So that's one of the projects. The floor over here was really sunken down, so I jacked that up. Built a beam underneath there. The beam runs the whole distance of the house. I still need to do a little bit of jacking in this area, I believe, because if you look at the door, it's now off level there. Also, it tore a big spot behind that paneling. Have to fix that. So here's one of the big projects. You guys have kind of seen some pictures, but this was all rotted, of course. Tore it all out. Sistered on a bunch of 2x6s, new 3/4 inch plywood. Local lady was selling some used hardwood, pretty cheap. So all these big long pieces, and I still have a bunch of it in the trailer out there. It's not all groove or tongue on the ends anymore though, because she cut it out of a section. So, or cut it, maybe it might have run to the edge of the floor maybe, and she cut it like she couldn't get her saw all the way to the end or whatever, and maybe it went underneath, I don't know. But anyway, a lot of it's cut. So I have tongue and groove bits, but I'm not getting them out for this project. It's not big enough. So what I'm doing is, I found this on the side of the road. Somebody redid their floor. And there's a bunch of these little pieces of tongue and groove. So I can basically take a couple pieces of that, cut it, whatever I need, and then use a little piece. You can see I bought some new stuff, but it's not going to match, so I don't want to use it. So anyway, this is, you can see the tongue over here. So this will allow me to basically do tongue groove all the way to the end. Obviously, I don't care if that end is flat or not, but the rest of it I want to all lock together correctly. The rest is kind of a mess, but this little spot here, I'm also going to patch this with old. That's actually what I bought this new stuff for, was this hole. So I'm going to patch this hole, and I had to do some work to get this thing level. So it's now level. I can now put hardwood in here. It's just going to be a patch, so you'll see the seam on the end. But anyway, this will be patched with old stuff as well. And it'll all get sanded just like I did before, which you can see this is kind of spotty because the carpet line actually was here. That's where I cared from there on. So anyway, that's basically, it'll look kind of similar to this. This room is going to get sanded, same deal. We did a bunch of patching. I think I have the purple paint still. I think it's one of those two. If it's not, this wall will be white or that gray mix that we have or whatever. Been a bunch of, you can kind of see from the light here, a lot of patching. Kristen did about 90% all this patching. This room is essentially done. Aside from, I have to finish polyurethaning the floor. You can kind of see the line here where there it is, where I started redoing it. There was a spot here that was worn down. There was no stain left, so I touched that up. There was a pretty bad scratch right there, which you can kind of see. It actually went a little darker. So I filled all that in, and now I've just got to wipe this whole floor down, poly it. And that's it. Oh, Kristen painted, this was green up here. Kristen painted all that to match. Oh, and then there's trim that goes around here. I have to stain and poly yet. That's all that's left in that room. This room needs to be sanded and finished painting. Kristen did most of this. I had this green, thankfully, but you can kind of see this wall. It actually shows up a lot worse in the camera than it does in person. Anyway, that's all got to be painted a little more. A couple little spots here that were missing. I really should sand this. That was my patch. I didn't do a very good job there. I didn't do a very good job there either. So I might touch those up. This wall, she had painted orange, horrible orange, the previous renter. You can kind of see it right there. So, anyway, that's after 3 coats of white. We'll probably do one more yet. And then Kristen painted the trim. She's got one more coat to do yet. It had a bunch of over paint on it already, so we decided just to paint it. It was either that or replace it. These windows are looking pretty rough too, but they'll get changed. A couple of these will get, I'm changing a couple of windows each time I change a renter. So that's basically it. In the bathroom, it's just some trim work and stuff. This is kind of the major stuff. The flooring, the paper bag flooring. Oh yeah, one other thing too. In here, I changed out that window. So the new window's shorter. That dark plywood that's in there, which matches what's up above there, I'm gonna cut a piece and put it right there so it'll all match. When I redo this kitchen, that window's gonna get a lot bigger. But for now, at least now it's got a window that seals and works properly. I have to change this over to LED. I did this one years ago. I didn't do this one. This room will get new carpeting. I have the other stair pieces here. I've got a piece I need to make for the front of this. And then the kick plates on each of these in the front, like right here in between. I'm gonna stain some stuff and put it there. This needs trim. I had cut some 1x6 and already had stain just for the bottom piece. I might use that. I might do something else. I haven't decided yet. But anyway, it needs trim all the way around. These windows I had replaced last time. And yes, these desperately need to be cleaned. This is because there were massive flies in here when I first got this place back from the previous renter. Other than that, Kristen did some patching. She still got some finish up work to do in here. You can see she put the mesh and then put the first coat on that stuff. She's still got another coat or two to do. Other Oh, that's the stair stuff. And then I've got to clean the toilet out and whatnot. And I think that's about it in here. Maybe some more painting. So we're getting close. I'm going to have this whole weekend to myself. So I'm going to actually probably stay here at the house and finish it up much as I can anyway. It won't be done, but there's still a lot more to do too. I got to take this insulation out. Over there is a metal plenum. The air conditioner isn't blowing very hard. It's blowing reasonably hard, not as hard as it should. So I'm going to take the old plenum out, see what's going on there, and either way, I'm going to put that metal plenum in because the old one's been wet and it's kind of deformed. Oh, I added that window back there. That door did not have a window at all. And then this front door has this little window. Probably going to add that window also. I also have a screen door for this front door. I think that's about it. So, and then, oh yeah, that's a piece of oak that I cut with my chainsaw sawmill. That's a possibility for that trim downstairs, those two windows that I had changed last time. I may sand this and see how it looks, and maybe just put a little bit of stain on it, you know, cut it to fit and all that. I've got my table saw right there, so I can rig that up and cut it. But anyway, that's the update.